Hi, thanks for watching. I'm here with Renaud Visage. He's the co-founder of Eventbrite, a global ticketing platform. Renaud, how did you grow a billion-dollar company?
Well, slowly over time. We started in 2006, just me and my two other co-founders. We saw a big gap in the market in the organization of small and medium-sized events, what we call the long tail of events. And we thought that technology could be a good disruptor for that space, providing easy-to-use tools and very intuitive interfaces for people like yourself or anyone really to organize any type of events. And then it took off pretty quickly from the get-go, and we've been ramping up ever since, reaching $1.5 billion worth of tickets sold last year alone. So it's been a great experience.
Sure. And how did you manage that growth? It happened so quickly. What systems did you have in place?
Well, we kind of flew by the seat of our pants, figured things out as we were confronted with them. We had a lot of pain in scaling both the technology side when we had very big events disrupt our infrastructure quite often.
Yeah.
We had to learn how to adapt our technology stack to be able to do the on-sales for very large events. Some events sell within a few minutes of being live and everybody rushes in at the same time. So we learn a lot by handling this type of events. And on the company side, we also had to build a team. So we started very slowly, and we had about 20 people, I think, in 2009, and now we have 500. So we have ramped up very quickly over the last few years. And that's definitely a challenge to keep the growth going and to keep building the best team you can build.
Sure. And why did you decide to go into online ticketing? Was it a gap in the market that you saw?
Yeah, we saw a very big gap in the market. Like, the state of the art at the time was sending emails, sending paper invitation, keeping track of things in Excel. So we thought there should be better tools for this type of users. And we had imagined what a collaboration with PayPal could lead in terms of money flowing directly to the organizer's bank account. And that's what we built as the first version. So something that gives instant sales to the organizer. They're often very small companies or even individuals, and they need that cash to get their events organized. So if we could build that and send the money directly to their account, we would have a great product.
And everyone's happy.
Everyone's super happy now.
The online ticketing is dominated by some really big players. How do you guys stay competitive?
Well, we first targeted a niche that wasn't theirs, so we didn't go against the larger events, which is a space that's pretty much trusted by few companies in every country in the world.
Yeah.
We decided to go after a market that was fairly untouched and out of price range for these bigger companies that tend to take a bigger cut. So we went for a market that wasn't really competitive that much at the time. Since then, we've had a lot of emulation. So we have other companies trying to do the same thing, but we have the largest scale. We had 1.7 million events on the platform last year, which is a testament to us managing to keep our growth going and really trusting that market.
Definitely. Tell me about Eventbrite's growth in Australia.
Well, it's been very impressive since we launched. I pretty much followed the US growth. So since 2006, we've been growing every year in Australia. I think it's a testament to the Australian love for attending events. I think sporting events are big here, cultural events. We have a lot of food and wine events as well. We had the Melbourne, for example, Food and Wine Festival, which was pretty interesting and awesome for Melbourne. And about a year ago, we saw that we had reached 100 million Australian dollars worth of ticket sales so far. And we wanted to double down on growth here in Australia. So we opened an office in Melbourne. We have a small team now that's entirely dedicated to growing the market here. So I think it's going to be a great market for us, and having a presence will definitely have an impact.
Yeah, and what about the Australian startup scene? How important is innovation to our economy?
Well, I think it's vital for all economies. We're living in a very global scale today. Companies can have very quickly a very big impact all over the world. And if you want to stay ahead, keep growth going, you can't necessarily rely on the old industries that have been successful. I think Australia has been very reliant on their natural resources, for example. That won't last forever. So at some point, you have to have something else. And innovation creates a lot of jobs wherever it's done well. San Francisco, for example, is a hotbed of technological innovation. And we've created hundreds of thousands of jobs through innovation directly and just in the tech sector. So you can imagine what you could reach if you are being innovative and at the forefront of all these other industries.
Sure. What's your best advice for other aspiring entrepreneurs out there?
Well, I think to have a passion about what you're trying to build.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily have a passion about events. We are very excited about the space, but we were more interested in building, solving problems for other people. And that is our passion. Every day we think about how we can solve the problem we identify the best way. Be very nimble. I think we had that from the beginning and ingrained in our company. Use whatever resources you have very carefully. You never know when a major global crisis will come. For us, it came in 2008, 2009 with the financial crisis in the US. So be very conscious that things can change very quickly and that today might be a great time to raise money and grow your business, and the next year you cannot raise anything. I lived through the dot-com bubble, so I can tell you that it can change very, very quickly.
Fantastic. Some great tips there. Thanks, Renaud.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.